Hello friends, those back pages here. I hope you're well. Tonight's episode, going to go over a little bit of Upper Deck's rookie card history, a little bit I guess. Talk about the star rookie, the young guns. I think it's ever important in these as we hit the end of 2023, heading into 2024. I think it's important to remember that the collector is important. Fanatics Topps, I guess I'll just call them Topps for what it is. It's not going to stop pumping out the product. Their job is to make as much money as possible, and the best way to do that is to pump out as much product as possible by any means necessary to make that money, to 10x the hobby. Won't get into the politics here on the channel, but I've been listening to a lot of Martin Luther King Jr. lately, and he said something that stuck with me that applies to the hobby and Topps specifically, in my opinion. He said, and let me think it over, so I'm going to paraphrase here. If I misquote, I apologize. That you cannot have disappointment without deep love. So when myself and other people criticize Topps and what's going on now, it seems that often we are just brushed aside as old heads, gatekeepers, whatever the term of the moment that people like to use to put down people like myself who have collected for a long time, love the hobby, because you cannot, in my opinion, collect this long without loving the hobby. And I absolutely love the hobby. I no hesitation, no qualms, no disappointments, nothing negative to say in that regard. There's a lot out there to collect. You do not have to buy the seemingly endless supply of products that Topps is putting out. It seems like lately they're putting out 2 or 3 releases a week. Just the other day they announced that they're going to put out another World Baseball Classic set. I believe it was 10 cards for $80. $8 a card. Excuse me. Just recently, they announced the pre-sale of 2023 Bowman's Best, as we hit the 2-year mark of the Classic 2021 version of that release. But the 2023 version of that release, pre-sale, $269.99 plus tax. I believe it's coming out towards the end of January or the middle of January, so you're giving them about a month free loan and hoping they send it to you. But that's a topic for another time. So, Upper Deck. In this video, we'll be going over baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. Because there was a time that Upper Deck made it all. And it was a great time. And it's great to look back and collect. So the card that started it all is the '89 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. Card number 1 in their first release, 1989 Upper Deck Baseball. I've had this copy since 2005. Same copy. Told that story many times. Very happy to have this in the collection. This is a card that pretty much every collection should have a copy in, regardless of what if you collect cards, especially sports, you should have a copy of this in your collection. It's not expensive. It's readily available. There's a price point for every budget, from Raw to PSA 10. So go ahead and grab yourself one of those if you don't have one already. So then we're gonna. So that was card number 1, and that's the Star Rookie, and it says it there on the flip, Star Rookie. So we fast forward again. I'm not going to show every single Star Rookie or Young Guns, because in 1990 Upper Deck introduced hockey, and the Young Guns were very popular. Bure, Fedorov in the high number release. But next up, we're going to show Tom Brady from 2000 Upper Deck. Now, for football, which they introduced in 91, in the year 2000, it even says right there, Star Rookie, right across the bottom. He is in the sweats, unfortunately, but it is what it is. This card is a rookie card because of the rookie card rules, accepted rules, but this is they around this time, especially for the non-baseball, I believe they started it. I don't think they ever did start it for baseball, for the Star Rookie. But for football and hockey, right around this time is when they introduced the, I guess technically a soft SP format, where for hockey, the Young Guns were 1 in 4 packs, and the Star Rookies were also 1 in 4 packs. And I believe it was, 50 card set. I know for hockey it was the last 50 cards of each series were the Young Guns, and they fall 1 in 4 packs. Same for the football. But so you would maybe get 1 Tom Brady per case of 2000 Upper Deck football, and that's significant when you think about, opening a whole case. You usually get a couple of each base card, but not these Star Rookies and not the Young Guns. That's something to keep in mind, because these are base cards and they are rookie cards, and it is shocking to some people for what these go for. Excuse me, especially the Young Guns. We'll get to there in a second. 2001. So, Upper Deck Baseball had Ichiro and Pujols. There was only 1 series of baseball, and you can see, I don't know if it'll show up there in the bronze there. It says Star Rookie right under the logo. I hope that's showing through, but it's really difficult to show these as a non-pair because they're just excuse me, they are so connected through their history, and it's just great. And that's another thing with Upper Deck, is it's just great photography. So the 2001. Then, of course, in 2003, Upper Deck Basketball, LeBron James, Star Rookie. There you can see it in silver on the bottom. Really nice photograph. Really nice full bleed photo. In game would be great, but it is a nice looking card. Highly recommended. I highly recommend all of the cards I'm about to show tonight. But yeah, so you got a long history going on with with the Upper Deck. And unfortunately, in 2009, basketball went to Panini, baseball went to Topps, football, they lost football, but football was still, Topps was still making football. I think Panini was too. I don't remember. Now I'm getting fuzzy on that. But in 2005, the NHL decided to give hockey to Upper Deck, except for a brief 2-year window. No, actually 3-year window. 11, 12, and 13, where they let Panini in and then kicked them out again for reasons I'm not. I have my own beliefs on why, but that's neither here nor there. But in 2005, when they started, Upper Deck started hockey exclusively, they started off with a bang. You know, they came off a strike year. Strike, lockout, whichever one it was. So in 2005, there was a double rookie card class, and you had these two headline it. Series 1, card number 201, Sidney Crosby. There are people that I talk with regularly that don't feel that card number 201 has any significance. I strongly disagree, because as you'll see, they tend to reserve the first Young Guns in the first set for the top, what they consider to be the top rookie. So that's Crosby, and then for Series 2, they had Ovechkin, and he was 442. 443? Yeah, 443, sorry. So they did a little disservice. I understand why they split them up. Couldn't imagine having both of these in the same box. That would have been absolutely incredible. And these, and when I mentioned before that people are especially non-hockey people, tend to be thrown back by the prices that these cards command, and these are quite pricey, especially when you consider there's no autograph, there's no serial number, there's no material, you know, patch, jersey, stick, whatever. There's no material, there's no autograph, there's no numbering. These are not, they're short printed, but they're still, they made a lot of them. But Upper Deck, you know, has done it right this way, and they've kept it that way. For the most part, it's 1 in 4 packs for a Young Guns. I mean, it might vary a little with the retail formula, the retail SKU, but for the most part, it's the same. Here's a 2014 Leon Draisaitl, one of the best players in the game right now. You know, kind of a hobby lukewarm, I would say, as a whole. But here's a absolute hobby stud, and this is the Connor McDavid 2015 Young Guns. You see there, card number 201, right there. First card in the 15 Upper Deck hockey set, Young Guns set, and it's nice. I mean, it says foil on the bottom there, Young Guns, very similar to Star Rookies. This is a very costly card now. Short story about this is I tried, and I bought this in 2016 in Atlantic City, and 2016 was a weird time in the hobby. There was just as much 9 hate as there is now, but it was more difficult to find 9s. Like I tried to buy a 9 of this card leading up to the National, and I kept losing. There weren't very many available. I found one at auction and I lost, and it wound up being like half of what this cost. So I just went ahead and bought this one at the show. So there was a time where fine 9s were just really difficult to locate. You know, it's kind of getting that way again, but not so much. There's just so much hate for it. Okay, so the next year, after 2015, 2016 Series 1 came out. And the star headliner of that is Austin Matthews. That's correct, card number 201. One of the younger Americans in the league who's actually really, really good. Big time goal scorer. Then we're going to jump forward here to 2019 Series 1. And that's going to be Jack Hughes. And you guessed it, card number 201. I don't think that this trend is by accident. And I don't think that's going to stop. But it'll stop this year because they, quote-unquote, didn't have time to get Connor Bedard into Series 1 of this year's Upper Deck, where I believe they could have pushed back the release a couple of weeks and then had him in it, but that's probably not good for business. Because the rule in the NHL is that you must play a game before you must step on the NHL ice before you can have an NHL card. A lot of respect for that, but it is frustrating that there's still no, even there's on the shelves right now there are no pack issued Connor Bedard cards, you know, NHL cards. But anyway, from Series 2, Kyle McCarr, Young Guns. From 2020 Series 1, you have Jason Robertson. Yeah, I have a couple of the other guys, but you know, there's no need to show everybody. You know, he's one of the younger up and coming stars. And I have a couple others here that are not rookie cards, but are important. In 2020, you know, what's big with Upper Deck is the E-Pack. If you don't know what that is, I'm not going to go into that right now, but they do achievements where you can, if you hit certain goals, if you collect a certain amount of, like a whole set of something, you can exchange it for an achievement card. And this was one of the really cool ones that I added to the collection from 2020, and it looks like the 95 set. I'm sorry, the 05 set. So it has the same design, pretty much the same. You know, the position is different. You can barely see the C on the Crosby, but so in the same. It's just a really cool looking card. So it reminds me of the Crosby and the Ovechkin. So I added that to the collection. You know, it's not a rookie card, but it is a very cool looking card. And it's not simple to get. I did buy that secondhand, you know, already slabbed up. So, when I had mentioned that in 2005, Upper Deck Hockey had the double rookie class due to the lockout strike of the year before, Upper Deck had to do something, right? They had to put out product. So they did put out a Series 1 Upper Deck, which is their flagship brand. And they did put out Young Guns. But they added a twist. They called them Retro Young Guns. And they added pretty much, I think, everybody you could want almost. There's no Bobby Orr, I don't believe. But everybody, this is the Gretzky. This is the big one of the release. You know, it's a really nice looking card. You know, they reimagined, what if these guys had Young Guns rookie cards? So they tried to use period photos for some of them. Like there's a Howe, that's just a headshot, like a biceps up type shot, chest up. This is a pretty, you know, pretty significant card. It's not super expensive, but it's certainly not cheap. And it just shows you the power of the Young Guns. And it was the same 1 in 4 packs, you know, not readily available. There are probably a handful on eBay right now in the raw condition, but very happy to add this to the. I bought this about a year ago. I looked it up because I was curious. Usually I don't do that, but so my belief in the hobby is that you should always be learning. You should try each and every day to learn something new. I've said that a while. I believed it a while, and sure enough, I want to say probably last month. I'm not sure what made me think of it, but I was looking at last cards, like looking at specifically Michael Jordan, 2002. You know, he had retired in 97, and he retired in 93. Played baseball strike happened, he went back to basketball. You know, then after the 97 season, 97-98 season, he retired again. Then he came back and with the Wizards, played 2 seasons with the Wizards, the 01-02 season and the 02-03 season, and he retired again. And then we had the LeBron era. So I was looking at 2002 Jordan slabs, and I ran across a card that I had never, and it feels weird to say this out loud, but I had never seen before. Which is crazy because I have a nice amount of Jordan slabs, and it just shows you the power of how much stuff is out there. But in 2002, the 02-03 season, I guess they knew he was retiring again, because in Series 2, they had made a retro star rookie Jordan in a Bulls uniform. And I think this is a very important card. It's the last card in Series 2, card number 420. It is the same format as Young Guns and, you know, Star Rookies like they did for Brady a couple years prior. In 2001, they did do 2 different Jordan retro Young Guns, but it has him in the Wizards gear. And I think it actually says Wizards on it. Doesn't mention Bulls on the card at all. And it came out the year before this. So I think technically this is his last playing days card in a Bulls uniform. Because he's playing this season. He's not on the Bulls. It's very weird because, you know, we're talking now going on 22 years ago. And I think this card is extremely underloved right now. I went ahead and picked up this SGC 9.5, and like I always tell you guys, because and it's just, I like to think of it, if this had come out in 98 during Gretzky's last year when he was still active, I think this card would even get more love than it already does, which is a significant amount, especially in a 10. So I just think that this card is off the radar for most people, and you know, it does feature a very young Michael Jordan. I mean, you can see by the design on that Bulls jersey, the road jersey, and it's, you know, it says star rookie on the bottom in silver, kind of like the LeBron does the year after the. And it says 02, 03. It's got the Bulls logo. It's fully Upper Deck. It's fully NBA. It's fully Bulls. I just think that this is an underappreciated card. I just, for the reasons I stated, it's not, you know, and if you if you go and you look up the box prices of this stuff, you know, it's just insane. The box prices are, I think, hundreds of dollars for a box, where you might not even get a Jordan, because like I said, it's 1 in 4 packs. I'm not sure how many the star rookies are in there, but to me, it's just a very underappreciated card. And it's funny, I like I always tell you guys, send an offer. If a seller has a listing with an option for best offer, you send it. So I sent an offer of on purpose, and I try to do this from time to time, and I hope the seller gets it. And he accepted, so I guess he got it. I did send an offer of $45.23 for this card, and it was accepted. So again, I just, in what we like to do here, give away the sauce for free. I hope you learned something. You know, I'm very happy that you decided to share your time with me here. Time is precious, and this is something that I think, just going to reiterate what I said at the beginning. There's no reason to stop collecting. If the new stuff is overwhelming and too expensive, there are decades and decades and decades of all the sports out there to collect. So again, thank you. I hope you have a happy holidays for those that celebrate. Be safe. You matter. Don't drink and drive. Don't be stupid. And until next time, thank you again.